Hey, this is Brandon.
And this is Barab.
We're 8 Pound Pressure.
And you're listening to AntmanVs.
Woo! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Feel the power.
Music Familia Productions. World premiere.
You'll never get the best of me. I'm anti-everything. You'll never get the best of me. I'm anti-everything.
Antman and Siobhan bring you so much, live, local, and raw, every Thursday from AntmanVs Studios. Music, news, interviews, plus so much more, and it starts now.
And now, here's your host.
What's going on, Music Familia? Hope you guys are having a good night tonight, man. So we are back at it one more motherfucking time. AntmanVs Live, musicfamiliaproductions.com. We're live on YouTube. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. You guys can jump over there and do all that fun jazz, just like I tell you to do every week. So I want to give a shout out to a few of my sponsors, man. I want to give a shout out to Knucklehead Productions. I want to give a shout out to Undiscovered Foxhole Undiscovered Network. I'm going to give a shout out to the Foxhole Radio Network, PhotoNationAP. My man David Sheets does all my graphic design work, holds it down for me, does all my fun stuff for me. 614-732-9525, call or text, or write an email, PhotoNationAP@outlook.com. You can use the hashtag AntmanVs to get 5 to 10% off your digital media service or professional photography gig. I want to give a shout out to my man Jonathan Boyer at ShamrockPrinting.com. If you haven't had a chance to check out Shamrock Printing, great organization. You need some screen printing, some any merch, anything at all, man, hit up Jonathan, 740-349-2244, or hit him up, shamrockprinting.com. So, tonight's show is also brought to you by Ohio Local Music. If you haven't had a chance to get a hold of a great Facebook group to network with and be a part of, then I encourage your ass to get over there and join Ohio Local Music. And when you do so, make sure, for sure, that you answer all the questions when joining the group. Because if you don't answer the questions in the group, how can you be trusted to actually efficiently network with everybody in the group? So make sure you do that. Also, Ohio Local Music, I want to give a shout out to Rock Outlaws. And I want to give a shout out to Rockstars Glued 3.0. If you haven't had a chance, check out Rockstars Glued 3.0. That's Rockstars Glued 3.com. You guys can head over there, check them out, man. You can check out the replay show of AntmanVs every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. over there. Roxy and all the boys and girls over there at Rockstars Glued are the shit. I want to give a shout out to Killed Out as well, my man John, hanging out with us, ready for some metal. Love this podcast. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you. What's going on, Herbie? What's going on, Mr. Derek Ward? What's going on, everybody hanging out on Facebook? For those of you who are hanging out on Facebook right now, I dropped the link into the live show so you guys can come on over, check out the live show, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Music Familia Productions. We're in 12 different countries. We are worldwide. That's right, folks. Every week, your music, your voice is heard in 12 different countries, guaranteed. Got the analytics to prove it, mofo. Over 2,000 views a week. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of it, man. What's going on, Amber? Hope you guys are ready for a killer show tonight. And so if you guys haven't already, hit that like button. Hit that share button. Let's get it out there. Let everybody know what's going on this evening. So we got a killer interview tonight from a man by the name of Greg Chaffin. Now, my man Greg, he's been through some shit in the last year. And we are going to not only break into some of that shit, but we are going to be talking about all kinds of things. And you, my friend, are welcome to come hang out and talk about it with us. What awesomeness is that? Nancy Weems, what's going on? How are you? Thank you for coming and hanging out. I appreciate you. So, as I said before, if you haven't had a chance to check out this podcast, if you're new to the show, thank you first and foremost for doing what you do as artists and musicians. We freaking love you. Also, I want to put it out there, man. There's lots of podcasts out there, but there's no podcast like this. 2 hours, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every week. The best stuff that you've never heard. I guarantee you've never heard what you're going to hear tonight anywhere else. And if you have, well, then they heard it here and they took it over there. Just kidding. Let's go. We're going to get into this stuff right now. My man Mike, what's going on, man? Hope you're having a good night. Christy, what's going on? I see you. Come on over, hanging on YouTube with us, guys. We're going to get into this right now. I got some M99 for that ass. We're going to get in here right now. Driving Blind. You ready for this? Let's go.
Go before you can stop me from clearing my head.
not done yet. Let's get some Pray for Sleep.
These sleepless nights are getting the best of me. I am lost, can't figure out reality. Why can't I leave this place? I don't know my own face. Insomnia's taking me. When I die, oh!
That right there, boys and girls, is Pray for Sleep. If you haven't had a chance to check those guys out, they are straight out of Columbus, Ohio as well. Tonight's show is going to be a very special show, man. First and foremost, I want to get this out of the way. I always take care of my sponsors. I always take care of my Music Familia. I much love my Music Familia. You guys know how important you guys are to me. So, tonight's show, I have a special announcement. I have two special announcements, actually. The first special announcement is, for those of you who guys are new to the show, tuning into the show for the first time, each week, each Thursday, we promote band shows. So what happens is artists, bands, musicians, professional music people in the industry create really awesome flyers, and they spend a lot of time creating these flyers, which in turn end up becoming flyers inside the venues, right? So what happens is the bands and the fans and everybody, they always tear those flyers down off the walls, take them home, get them autographed, whatever. That's really awesome, right? But what happens to the social media flyer that's created? Here we go. Let's check this out. So right here in front of you, while you guys are checking this out right now, for those of you who are hanging out on the YouTube channel, you guys are seeing this, and for those, some of you might be seeing it for the first time. But this right here is our upcoming show lineup. And every week, we find shows, bands, and people send us their flyers, and we promote for the bands because we realize that not always do bands have time to promote. It's hard enough to write music. It's hard enough to find ways to be relevant in 2019. I mean, how does it go? If you're thinking about it, somebody's already done it, right? Well, here at Familia Productions and AntmanVs, we take to heart everything that the music community is doing. So, with that being said, for instance, these two examples you're looking at, the 4th annual Rock at the Villa right here, it is the pre-party to the massive tailgate for Sonic Temple. And you guys can check it out, man. The World I Knew, Samara, Key Enemy, Pray for Sleep, you just heard those guys, Zero King, David Goliath, all under one roof at the historic Alarosa Villa, May 16th. $15 for tickets. It's an all-ages event, so bring your kids, bring your earplugs, because it's going to be loud as fuck. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. Yours truly is sponsoring the event, so myself, Knucklehead Productions, and Rock Outlaws will be out there. You'll be able to get your MFP merch. A lot of people have been bugging me about that, like, where's my shirt? Where's my hoodie? Where's my bag? I want my stuff. I want it right now. So, without further ado, I will have the merch. I'll have all that stuff out there. Now, this next announcement hasn't even been announced yet, and I'm probably going to get in trouble. Tomorrow, Liquid 16 is going to be giving some insight. Mr. Aaron Benner is going to be letting everybody know that they are doing an album release party at the A&R Bar. If you haven't had a chance to check out the A&R Music Bar, get your ass over there. 391 Neal Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. This is an all-ages show. I love the music scene, man. They are doing all ages all the time, $10 in advance through the bands. Make sure you guys get over there. Sour Blood, Liquid 16, of course. The new and approved Dread Engine, Never Dawn, Love Sick Radio, all under one roof, June 15th. This show has not even been announced yet, because yours truly is just that freaking awesome. Thank you so much, Music Familia, for allowing me to be a part of the community and being a part of these shows, man. I have said so many awesome interviews, so many awesome things come my way, thanks to all of you. If it wasn't for all of you guys, I wouldn't be here, so thank you. Music truly does save lives, and we're going to talk about that tonight. My man Greg Chaffin is going to be calling in about 12 minutes or so, and he's going to be talking about some pretty serious shit. And you're going to have an opportunity to weigh in the chat and talk about it, and this is going to be a really awesome opportunity to really get to know a local musician as well as a longtime music fan. So this is something a little different than we normally do. And I'm really excited about this. For those of you who are watching on our YouTube channel, thank you guys. For those of you who are watching on our website, if you didn't know, we have a website. You guys can go check it out, man. MusicFamiliaProductions.com. We are in the process of building a store with all the merch included. As a matter of fact, I have a meeting with my man Jonathan Boyd from Shamrock Printing. Tomorrow, we're going to be discussing all kinds of new stuff, man. And, you know, I'm really excited about 2019 in the summer and what's going on, man, because a lot of people are hitting the reset button. And they're creating all new content and all new merch. And, man, I love wintertime. I love the idea that bands, and it seems to be like a mutual thing. Like, when it starts to get cold out, bands go into the cave, and they start writing, they start producing, they start creating. You know, that's when the notebooks start coming out. That's when the collaborations start happening. That's when the minds start taking over. And then right when the snow goes away and you're kicking it into spring and summer, boom! Like, all of a sudden, new music, new merch, new shows, collaborations, all kinds of bands on one show, like all over the place, man. It's epic. I love it. And, you know, one band I have not had a chance to check out. I have not met these guys personally, but I have been added to their private group that they have as a band. And, you know, when you're part of something, when you're like the outside of something, you're sitting, I won't say third wheel, but when you're sitting back watching something like happen and transpire and work and mold and it's created right in front of you, you know, you see the blood, sweat, and tears created right in front of you, you know. This band in particular, man, and I'm talking about Kildau first and foremost, man. If you haven't had a chance, find them on Facebook. You know, these guys, man, they aren't just band members. They're brothers. And you can really see that in the conversation and the collaboration and the back and forth, you know, the day-to-day. And I don't chime in unless it's important, unless I need to. You know what I mean? Because that's not what I'm there to do. I'm not there to toot my own horn. I'm not there to do anything. These guys were cool enough to allow me to be part of this. And as somebody who's in the media and somebody who sits back and watches stuff like that, I think it's really cool to be able to, you know, grab a pen and paper and sit in a corner, so to speak, and be like, oh, wow, that's really neat. Oh, wow, that's really, you know, and I have had the opportunity to interview over 150 artists, like 150 different, you know, people, bands, all kinds of stuff. 150 interviews in the time I've been doing this. And I have never met, in all my time, I've never met a band that was so uniformly sound. And I don't even know if this is a fucking word. But the band, like, on a separate mindset is just right there, you know? And I think a lot of bands, a lot of people, even musicians could take a page out of this, you know? And we're going to check it out right now, man. This song is called Fault Line, and this is from Kildau. Now, nobody has this song right now. The guys trusted me with this, as well as another song that I aired last week called Shotgun to the Dick. And these guys are freaking awesome, man. So what I want you to do is grab whatever you're drinking. I know a lot of people that listen to my show don't drink alcohol or have been and are sober. So congratulations to you. That's why I don't drink during my shows, and I do not encourage drinking or anything like that to knock anybody off. So I drink soda, or as you can see, Kickstarts are my friends. So if you ever want to get on the Antman side, if you ever see me out in a venue, you see me out and about, bring me a Kickstart. You'll be my best friend for life. Anyway, so grab your drink, whatever you're drinking, coffee, soda, pop, water, whatever. Grab it. Here you go. And we're going to toast to this. This song's called Fault Line. We're going to get right into this, man, from my boys Kildau. Let's go. Turn you go. Some Kill Doll right there. My man John hanging out with us right there. Kill Doll Metal in the chat room. Thanks for all the kind words. And yes, we are brothers, and you are our brother. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you for all you do. What's going on, Thor Wonderland? Me and Terry appreciate what you do for the scene, Music Familia. Thank you, sir. We love you. Thank you guys so much, man. And so we are going to get ready here, man. My man Greg is going to be calling in here shortly. So I'm really excited about this, man. This guy, he's really, really a cool cat. And I'm really excited about this interview. You know, so he should be calling any minute. But, you know, lots of great things come out of the community. I'm not just talking about music. I'm talking about camaraderie. I'm talking about stories. I'm talking about the opportunity to save lives. I'm a firm believer that music saves lives. If a song plays for 3 minutes and 45 seconds, or even some of these songs that are 4 minutes long, and you don't think about harming yourself, you don't think you think about like doing any damage to yourself, then I feel like I did my job as a musician or as a music fan, as somebody who loves music as much as I do. I'm an 80s kid, so that comes really close, near and dear to my heart, as much as I love music and all that. And, you know, and speaking of the devil, you are live on Antman Versus. What's going on?
What's up, man? Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, Greg? How's it going, buddy?
Oh, just chilling, watching you on the YouTube, on the TV.
Oh, that's badass, bro. That's awesome.
Dude, that last band was awesome.
Dude, Killed Out is the shit, bro. Let me tell you, man. Like, they fucking bring it, bro. I'm telling you.
You know what I was thinking when you guys was when you were playing the first three bands? I'm like, man, these young kids are killing it today. Like, damn, man.
You know what?
Damn, man.
Yeah, dude. Like, the music scene, I think, is more alive than it's ever been.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's definitely has been a resurgence of local Ohio music scene, but I'm sure we'll get into that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. But, well, first and foremost, man, let's just break it down, man. Why don't you tell everybody out there who you are and what you do?
All right. Well, my name is Greg Chaffin. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I do music, and actually, I'm going to start getting into some film. Actually, like maybe should own documentary here soon. So
yeah. Right on, man.
That's basically about it. I'm a geek, so nerd, whatever you want to call it.
You're not a Dungeons and Dragons kind of guy, are you?
No, actually, man, I collect like wrestling figures and stuff because I love pro wrestling, you know. And
WCW stuff, bro.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh.
Dude, that was awesome.
God.
And I also collect horror movie toys too. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I got a good collection. You have to come over and see it, man.
I'm gonna have to, bro. Like, you're speaking to my inner nerd. Damn. You dropped me.
Definitely, man.
Ow! I think you dropped me on my head, bro. That hurt.
Yeah, and I'm a big, you know, into music, so. You know?
Yeah, man. Like, so, you know, we've been friends for, man, I don't even know, like 4 years or something like that. Like, I don't know. Like, we were friends on social media a lot longer than we've met face to face.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I think it was like 2011 or something.
Oh
I first met you.
My God. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 years. Yeah, because it was before my daughter was born.
Oh, wow.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now she's 7, so.
Holy shit, I feel old as fuck now. Wow.
Man, I feel old as shit.
Yeah, dude. So in the 7 years, man, that we've been friends, dude, we've seen the rise, the fall, and we've seen the rise and fall of music. We've seen all kinds of things, you know, from the music scene, man. But more importantly, I kind of want to get into, you know, what you've been going through. You know, I really, you know, for those of you who don't know, my man Greg has been a huge music supporter for as long as I've known him, like longer than that. like he remembers bands and stuff like before I there's stuff that he knows I just don't. And
here's something quick. There was I say back in 2002. That was when, my God, so many good bands was out. You know, Super Freak was out. Yeah, that's an old band. Cringe, you know.
Oh yeah.
Liquid 16. So I was lucky to see those guys. You know,
be careful. Be careful. Liquid 16's still out there. Aaron will be like, "Oh, you're calling me old, bro?"
No, I love Aaron, man. He's an awesome guy. He's a good guy. You know, those guys are like family to me. You know, because
oh yeah,
dude. They my experiences. They showed me a lot, and I learned a lot too. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was funny when you were talking about the flyers, man. I remember, you know, back in 98, 99, you would go on campus and there would be flyers posted on telephone poles.
Oh, I know.
Everywhere.
I know. And you know, like now, like you don't, I'm sorry to say it, man, but there are very few bands who print those out or pay the money to print those out and plaster them like they used to be plastered. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Everything has changed, you know. I think it's technology, you know, and being cheap, a cheaper and more viable version. You know, we got Facebook, Twitter, and all this kind of stuff, you know, so it's more, which I don't blame them, but it's still cool to have those physical flyers, you know.
Right, you know.
At least for me, because
well,
I'm
you know,
35 years old, so.
Right, there's that whole nostalgia. Hey, I might have been too drunk at that show, but the flyer reminds me I had a good time.
Exactly. Like I was flipping through my CDs, man, and I have a Liquid 16's first CD. You know, and that's like a rarity, kind of. And that was the only CD I bought. So I've had that CD since high school.
Wow.
It's insane. But, yeah, man, I go way back. You know, I really started doing, you know, music in 98, 99. Didn't really get into a local scene about 2001, probably, or two. So, yeah, long time.
Yeah, man. Like, I'd say so. Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, man, when it comes to music, dude, I try really hard to, you know, not put my blinders on, so to speak. I think so many people in the music scene, in and around the area, you know, especially some of the new people, you know, some people have such a negative outlook on music sometimes.
Oh, yeah, because everything's digital.
Right, you know, and
everything is throwaway.
Right. I think that's really, yeah.
We live in a generation and a decade that's way different than, you know, 80s and 90s and even early thousands. You know, something happened with I still love getting physical albums.
Yeah.
I will go out of my way to buy a physical album, just because I like to have it on my person, you know.
Well, you know, my thing is, man, like I totally get, you know, why music has went the direction it has, but that doesn't mean that you need to stop people from having the ability to put the physical CD on their wall or in their collection.
Oh yeah, exactly. And if you take a look at it, man, like you go to a lot of local shows. I guarantee you, there's more physical copies like to have a local show than there is at, you know, a nationwide concert.
Right.
You know, national band.
Yeah.
You know, I guarantee you. So that's
you know,
what you have it there.
I've went and seen you know, bands. I've seen national acts. I've seen so many people like in the music scene, man. And if it's one thing that I've learned in the 150 interviews that I've done since I've started this whole thing, like I have learned that don't have, if you have a hero, don't don't freaking meet them. Like, just
Exactly. Never meet your heroes because you might get disappointed.
just enjoy the music, enjoy the meet and greet, like whatever, and get the F out of there. Don't hang around and be like, oh, bro, you were my hero and you did this. Some of them, and I won't say this to be negative, but I will say that some of them don't give a shit.
And they don't.
And
they don't.
You know, like, I'm not going to say
like,
everybody does.
I don't get this whole, like, when national acts have VIP packages.
Yeah.
Because you know what it is, it's selling more tickets. You can be more approachable at a local show than a national show and run a chance of getting arrested, if you know what I mean.
Well, you know, like, it frustrates me when I see... When I see collective clique workings, like when I see this band, like there's 5 bands on the bill, and 2 bands take it upon themselves to create a Facebook event that's totally separate from the event Facebook page. Like, you know, you're taking a thin line that's already thin because the music scene isn't what it used to be. And you're just making it thinner, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, another little story, you know, back in early 2000s, you know, and even in the 90s, after-party shows, you know, where fans could meet the bands and hang out, you know. But nowadays, there's not that camaraderie anymore, you know, so.
I mean, you know, I won't say that there isn't. I'll just say that it's a 1%ers club, you know, and like there are promoters and there are bands that just throw everything by the wayside and say, you know what, I don't care about our following, I don't care about our Facebook, I don't care about our shares, I don't care about this. Let's just come together, put a damn good show together, and melt everybody's faces off.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Losing you there.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Ego too, you know.
Oh, man, I could go on all day long about that. You know, like...
Egos are like opinions. Everybody has one.
I was going to say assholes, but yeah, true.
You know, everybody has an opinion nowadays, so... Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot.
Yeah.
Since I was, you know, but I enjoyed my experience. It was fun. I was a young kid, you know, didn't really have much to go or turn, you know, and the local scene kind of, took me in.
You know, and they have, I call it the music bug, bro. It's a bug. And if you get bit by bit by it, your entire life is over.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know, like, you're instantly like, all right, this is it. Like, so many times, man, I can say, just in my line of work, not even as a musician or a band member, like, I've been so frustrated that sometimes I'm just like, screw this, I'm just going to quit. And I set all my shit down and I walk out, and then I'm out wherever I'm at cooling down, and I use air quotes when I say it, cooling down, and
right.
And you I guess back to the drawing board, as they say, and you know, I just can't. I feel like too much is riding on it. Too many people are looking forward to it. Too many people are inspired. So you can't just... Would an artist, I always think, like, what would an artist do? What would a musician do? What would a band do? Like, would they quit? Fuck no, they wouldn't. They'd keep going. They'd power on. They'd power through it, you know?
Exactly. You know, that's what you got to do in life, you know? You just got to keep going with it.
You know, yeah.
That's the fun part.
Right. I think that's the exciting part of, like, what we do is, like, you know, it's, yeah, everybody's done it. Yeah, if you're thinking about it, then it's probably already been done or thought of, whatever. But it's the way you go about it. It's the creativity you have to have. It's the... I don't know, man. It's just...
Well, you just can't go pick up an instrument and be, okay, I'm just going to play this and just stand there. you know, it sucks when I go see a show and everybody just stands around and they're just singing and playing, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I want to see some movement and I want to see some, but, you know, my influences is death metal and old school thrash, 80s, 90s metal. So that's my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And something I'm trying to get together now.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that, man. So not that long ago, you hit me up on social media, and we were talking back and forth. I think it was like one of our late night conversations, and we've had a number of those in the last few months. But you know, we were talking about music, and you were talking about how you wanted to get back into it, and I think that was the first time that I had actually realized that, you know, you were totally, you know, into the music more than just a fan. And so, you know, we started talking about it, and, you know, you were like, you know what, screw it. I think I'm going to pick up my guitar again. I think I'm going to pick up some instruments again. And, you know, like, you started some collaborations with some few people in the local scene, man, and stuff like that, dude. And so what was it like after having the instruments down for so long? What was it like picking it back up?
It was rough at the beginning, but it gets easier as you keep doing it, you know. The reason why I kind of fell off the map on, you know, local scene and stuff, you know, what was going on with other bands in the local scene, you know, I was in a bad place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, not anything harmful, but, you know, just mentally, like, I felt washed up. I think it was after, like, and no one has ever heard of this band, so this is the first time I'm announcing it. I'm probably going to get crap for it, but who cares? I did stuff in 2009 with this band called Ad Nauseam, and, you know, we did a couple shows, but that was about it. It didn't really get, it always seemed like I was at either the right place at the wrong time or the wrong time at the wrong place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So it's always been missed. So I was like, screw it.
I mean, like, did you just kind of, like, say, all right, I'm done? Like, was your goal to just be done altogether, like, completely?
Well, in 2014, you know, I tried to do something, too, but no one's ever heard of it, and it's not good quality. It was actually very frustrating.
Man, you sound like me when I started in radio, dude. Like, when I started doing this whole thing, like, I can't tell you how many times I listened to my shit and I was like, oh, this sucks. Yeah. I'm not putting this out there. I'm not doing it.
Exactly. I mean, my first album that I put out was in 2003. But then again, you know, that was easier. Like, that's what I miss, too, is tape trading and CD trading.
Oh,
I remember when bands used to do that.
Mixtape trading.
Local bands.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
I remember that, so.
That's like that's like making a reference to WCW in a crowd of people who only know WWE.
Exactly. I can't wait for WrestleMania this Sunday.
Oh my God. Speaking, like, I don't mean to trade off. We're talking about music, but, you know, like, I don't know whoever many pro wrestling fans are out there that are left, but, you know, this weekend's card, man, this is the first pay-per-view. This is the first WrestleMania. This is WrestleMania, what, 35? This is the first WrestleMania that females have headlined.
You know, good for them. You know, good for them.
I think it's amazing. Yeah.
You know, it's very smart booking, you know, and I used to wrestle, you know, so fun times, you know, when I was younger. But, yeah, smart booking by them.
Well, you know, I mean, here's the thing. So me and my wife got in a really heated debate the other day. So she's been a wrestling fan as long as I have, but she goes deeper than I do in certain ways because she's into Ring of Honor. She's into
Dude, Ring of Honor's G1 card summit is or Super Card. I'm sorry, is on right now tonight.
Yeah, right. You know,
Actually, so
yeah, and
that's a good card.
yeah, and also, you know, Cody Rhodes, man. Cody
Oh,
Rhodes.
I am so excited for AEW.
Like AEW, man. For those of you who don't know, you know, it is a brand new. I don't even know what to call it because they have.
It's a brand new organization, wrestling promotion.
Yeah, and
that's coming.
Yeah, and so Cody is running around, and he is the son of Dusty Rhodes, and he is running around just picking up contracts from all over, all walks of life.
Well, you know that he signed Jim Ross, right?
He signed Jim Ross. He signed Chris Jericho. He signed.
Yeah.
He signed like dude. He's going crazy. And the worst. It's not the worst thing. I think it's the funniest thing is that they have four different television deals on the table, and they have said nothing about any of them. They're not taking any of them because they don't want it. They don't want fans on the couches. They want fans in the seats.
Well, it's smart business.
Right, absolutely. You know, I think
it's like if you're booking a band, you know, you want to have your best talent.
Yeah.
On that one card.
Right.
You know, the best of Ohio God or wherever you live.
Right.
But, you know, wherever the people watch on YouTube and
anyway.
You know.
Yeah. So it's
wherever
gonna be
you live at. So
it's gonna be a good pay-per-view, man. Make sure you guys check it out, WWE Network. But anyway, so talking about music, man, and talking about what's been going on, dude. So some really serious shit has happened in the last, I'd say, 8 to 9 months, and I will allow you the floor at this time to, you know, explain your situation with all that.
Oh yeah. Well, where do I begin?
Right.
Sort of a long story, but I'll try to keep it as short as I possibly can.
You're good, bro. No, you're good, man. Like we got 2 hours, bro. Like you're good. We can rock this bitch. Let's do it.
All right, cool. Well, September 25th, 2018 was a day that changed my life forever. Pretty much. I mean, I was out. You know, I woke up like any other day, go to work. I was working at a tire factory. I will not say the name because of legal issues. But, yeah, I had an accident at 105 in the afternoon. Forklift ran over my left foot and crushed it. And not only crushed it, took 2 toes with it, which I didn't know at the time.
Wow.
And, yeah, I didn't know. You know what's weird, man, is it felt like someone just bumped me over. Like I didn't know my foot was, in that shape.
You think at that time the adrenaline kicked in, and that's what kind of like, you know, like your initial was like, oh shit, I just got hit by a forklift. You know, you're like.
I think looking back on it in hindsight, yes, definitely.
Wow.
Yeah, you know. I didn't know that, like, the shock really didn't hit me until I looked at my foot. And then I knew I was in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, damn, man. And the bad part about it, it stalled on my foot, and they had to pull it forward. So it's like I got hit twice.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude. So.
Yeah, so.
Wow. So, you know what, man? Like, our story is really. I mean, minus the amputation or the lead up to that, dude. Like I was crushed by. If you've ever been to Kroger, for those of you who've been to a Kroger store, the blue display pallets that sit on the floor with product on them. One of those, 7.5 feet tall, shrink wrapped, full of ice cream. A forklift driver at 12:04 a.m. December 4th, 12:04 a.m., 2009, drove in and hit a rack, tried to fit a reach truck into the location, and I was standing on the other side of the rack, and the forward momentum from him trying to rush and shove the other paladin created gravity, which gravity sucks. We all know that. And the blue pallet comes straight out and straight down on my toes and pinned my toes to the floor. And I took that 700 pounds of ice cream straight to the face. And I don't really remember anything. The only thing I remember is waking up and there's a bunch of people standing over me, you know. And
Jesus.
so I would have much rather have been in your position and coherent and at least within my own mind and not left on the ground having to scrape my ass up. Like
Right. Well, the thing was, like, I tried to stand up. After that, I literally tried to stand up, and I just couldn't, and that's when someone had to wrap a tourniquet because I was bleeding out. Pretty much, you know, because it had an artery in the foot.
Yeah. Well, they got and you.
Well, you've seen it. So.
Yeah. Well, and you were still wearing your work boots, so they had to work around getting your boot off too, and the same thing, right?
Well, no, it actually ate the shoe. I was wearing a steel-toed tennis shoe.
Holy.
You know, it ate the shoe. My whole shoe and sock was ripped off of my foot.
Wow.
As soon as it happened, so it grinded that up. So ambulance got there, and one thing I can remember clearly, like I don't remember anything before it happened. You know, so. One thing I remember clearly was like, am I going to lose my foot and will I be able to play with my kid?
Yeah.
That was the first thing. Like, I don't know, you know.
It's amazing what you think about first, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, out of all the things, like, am I all right? Am I dead? Am I this? Am I that? Like, you know, it's just, to me, like, you know, even in my situation, my first thing was like, dude, I'm never going to be able to do what I love to again, you know?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been definitely a head trip for the last 8 months. I can't, you know, so, yeah, it was just horrible.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people.
I think when, you know, and I've seen, you know, my grandparents die and whatever, but, this was like one of the most, it was like a horror movie because it ripped the foot of the skin. I had to get a skin graft too done.
Where'd they take it from?
My upper left thigh.
Right on.
Yeah. So I had to get a skin graft too because
but
it
you know
just
what?
peeled the
Those are
skin
cool.
back like a potato.
Yeah, but you know what? Those are cool though. I mean, I know you end up with more scars that way, but you're like, bro, check it out. This skin was here, and it's over here now.
Right, exactly. It's actually healing up good, you know. I am in definitely better shape physically and mentally. I mean, I'm not 100%. I'm probably, 55%. Getting to 60 just now. You know, but spending a week and a half, and that almost, it felt like a week and a day. That's what it really was in that hospital. It sucked.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Like, yeah, I think time when you're laying in a bed. I don't know anybody out there who's listening to this show right now. Anybody, you know? But when you sit down and you talk about, you know, being confined literally to a bed. Like and having to rely on other people and other things to help you use the bathroom and whatever. I think mofos take a lot of shit for granted, man. That's what I learned in my accident.
You know. Well, you came up and visited me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell a personal story if you don't care.
No, you're fine, brother.
To let all the listeners know.
Yeah.
You know, when you came up and visited me, that was the first time we met. Personally.
Oh, yeah, it was. I actually was. Yeah, I even brought my daughter with me.
I'd rather have had that happen, meeting personally like that, than, just some Joe Blow off the street. Just
bumping into each other drunk.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Bump into each other drunk at a show. Hey, how you doing? And then just walk away.
Exactly. But, spent a week and a half in a hospital. They had to put a wound vac Well, I had to get. Let me start. This is still at the beginning.
No,
Sometimes I jump ahead of myself.
No, I know. You know what? Yeah.
Well, when I got to the emergency room at Riverside, that's where they took me to the hospital. They had to put staples in my foot, like about 15 staples, to cover up the skin, because they had to. You know, the sucky part, man, Anthony, is this. Like, when I was in the ER, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't understand what was going on. Like I did, but I didn't.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's weird.
Yep. Yeah. No. You know, it's the thing is, I think what it is, and I've had a lot of time. Like, I've been to a lot of classes, pain management. I've been to drug counseling. I've been to all kinds of things, man. And you know, I'm not gonna tell my story and take away from yours, man. But you know, I 3 suicide attempts. You know, 3,200 milligrams of medication a day. You know, it was rough, bro. And I think what it is I think your mind just says, all right, this is too much. All right, you know what? We're gonna just take this and put this back here. This way you can get through this and you don't melt down. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. It's a head. Yeah, for sure. It's a head trip. It's the worst part is you know, the medications.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it's they're evil.
And I've
bro.
had and you know, I don't have nothing to hide. I've had substance abuse issues, you know, when I was younger. So
yeah,
I didn't really stop, you know, that until I had my kid. Because I tell you, when you have a kid, and I don't know if any other parents are out there, everything stops for you personally.
You're damn right. You are damn right. Everything you do, you're second guessing. Like, oh, should I?
Well, not only that, but you change your ways. You're like, wait a minute, you got to wake up here.
It seems like it happens. Like, I mean, I know for a fact it doesn't happen for everybody, but I agree with you.
Yeah, and then as you get older, you're like, man, I really don't want to do this. But, you know, I don't want to feel like this. But then it's a constant fight in your mind because, you know, if you have an injury and is on pain meds, anybody, it's one of the most vile disease that anybody can have. It really is.
Well, you know, they talk about, and this is what cracks me up. Like, so they talk about marijuana being a gateway drug, and this is something that I grew up with my whole life. Like, I heard about this my whole life growing up. You know, oh well, this is a gateway. Like, well, I had my accident, and now all of a sudden these doctors are like, well, here's this, and here's that, and this is gonna take care of this, and this is gonna take care of this, and this is gonna, and you know, before you realize it, before you even know, you're like, you know, 9 medications deep. You know.
Oh yeah. You know when I was in the hospital and stuff, I was pretty much clean off of everything. You know, except for smoking.
Right. Yeah, right.
You know, because if anybody knows me,
yeah,
I like to smoke. You know, I'm pro marijuana.
Right.
Marijuana should be legalized and alcohol should be banned.
Yeah, you know what? Amen to that. Yeah.
Yeah, alcohol should be banned. You know, maybe not all types of alcohol, but you know, it's just deadly.
Yeah, you know, yeah. So, you know, fast forwarding a little bit, man, to getting out of the hospital. You spent a week and a day or so in there, and I honestly, when I seen you, I thought you were going to be in there a lot longer than that. And you know,
me too. It was by the grace of God.
Yeah. And you know, what was the first thing you did when you got home? I have to ask.
I sat on my couch.
Yeah. Oh, I missed you.
I sat on my couch and played Xbox One.
Hell yeah.
Played some Call of Duty.
Yeah, man. You know, like
That's what I did.
I was worried, man. Like when I saw you in the hospital, dude, I really, like, I thought you were gonna be in there a lot longer than a week and a day. When you called me and was like, "Bro, I'm going home today," I was like, "What? Are you serious?"
and you know what? I had a positive attitude through this whole thing. I mean, some days are worse than others. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've talked. Yeah, I know.
But everybody is human.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Like, no, I'm not even going to get into it, but but everybody is a human.
You know. I instantly feel, you know, where you're at, because I was in and out of a wheelchair for a year and a half, and they told me
oh my God, that was horrible. Like that.
Yeah.
That, because I've always been active, you know.
Yep,
I've always
same
played
here.
sports and stuff like that, always worked.
Yep.
And then one day it gets cut out of you.
Minutes,
So,
dude. Minutes.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And minutes seem like hours, you know.
Yep. Yeah. You know, and, you know, you spend
and hours seems like days when you're in that position.
Absolutely.
If anybody's been hurt.
Yeah. You know, you spend your whole life. And I feel like we all do, you know. I mean, I'll be honest, bro. Like I'm guilty of it, and I used to tell my wife all the time, like, man, you know, my wife and I have been friends for 10 years, so she's seen me. You know, she didn't know I was at my worst when she saw me, but man, I was like, she's seen me pretty medicated, man. She's seen me drooling all over myself. She's seen me pretty bad, and you know, there was days, man, where I was like, you know. I have my associate's degree, and then I went back and got my bachelor's degree, and I'm 35 years old, man, and I have nothing to show for it, and you know, you're literally hitting the reset button on your whole life.
Oh yeah, like people always ask me, like even my mom does, like, oh, what are you gonna do? You gonna get a job? I'm like, eventually, you know, but I'm going to enjoy life, because I've been working since I was like, 12, 13, something like that.
Yeah, man, same here. Yep, yep.
So when you're raised Irish, that that work is instilled in you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, when you're Italian and Irish, you know, I'm Italian and Irish, so I get it. I get it, man. You know, and
yeah, my great grandmother, or my grandma was Italian. She came from Sicily.
Oh yeah.
So that was interesting.
Fresh off the boat. Fresh off the boat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Pretty damn much.
Yeah, man. So you come home, you get reacquainted with your couch, and you know, you're hanging out, man. What was the first week like? You know, after being home and getting acclimated again back at home.
That was the roughest part. That right there was the hardest thing to do. Because, you know, when you're knocked off your feet for that long, I mean, I know there's other people that's longer, you know. And I want to just say something, you know, my case is no different or better than anybody else that's been through an injury. So, you know, and it was hard. It was very rough. My girlfriend helped me a lot, and so did my kids. So that's what I grew strength off of. And just, I was like, you can't do things that you used to do. You have to just relax and rest.
Yeah,
that was a mindset.
You know, my biggest thing was like asking for help. You know, like just the very simple shit. Like you know, and there was a point where, you know, like I think, and I'm not afraid to put this out there, like while I was recovering and stuff like that, man, I think the most degrading experience for me while I was recovering from my accident was the first couple months after my accident. I couldn't stand on my own. I couldn't stand up, and I had to sit down to pee. And I feel like that at that time, what I felt like, what I thought was my lowest point, instantly became my lowest point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
you know, and,
But then,
yeah.
and then that comes in, but then another thing comes in. I got to recognize the lack of fear when you're in that position because your body goes in survival mode.
Yeah. Right.
You know,
right.
you have to learn really quick to get back to what you were doing.
Right.
You know,
whatever it is. Yeah.
You know, that was the toughest thing for me. Relearning things, like walking. That was, you know, that's been rough. But, you know, like I said, I'm like 55, 60%, so it's getting better. It is.
So you move up from there, and you are, you know, powering through, and you know, all the while, me and you are communicating and talking back and forth, man, and really, like my biggest thing, and I'm not afraid to put it out there. Just, you know, I'd say it to you even if we were just talking, but my biggest thing was just to keep you positive, just to keep you thinking, keep you moving, keep you, you know, like...
Oh, yeah, definitely. There was days, like, the first 3 weeks at home, there was days that I was like, you know, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to do this, and do things. I don't even want to go outside.
Yeah.
You know, the most frustrating thing was I tried to walk quick when my kid had trick-or-treating. And then I just couldn't hack it, you know, so.
Yeah. Man, I remember Halloween, too. It was brutal. It was Ohio Halloween. Like.
Yeah, so I'm stubborn anyways.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
You know, but I had to keep positive. There was hardly days that I wasn't negative. And I know that's hard to do, but, you know, when you're in that mode, you're like, okay, this happened, what do I do? At least that's how I think. In any situation I've ever been. And like, okay, this happened, now what? You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And say everything happens for reasons.
Right, that's
so.
what they say anyway, you know. You know, shut your mouth, close your mind, and hope for the best. You know what I mean? And you know, at the end of the day, you know, everybody thinks, you know, other things are the enemy. In reality, you yourself are your own worst enemy when it comes to a situation like that.
Well, yeah.
You know?
The mind is a battleground, you know. It's a battleground full of emotions each day. Because each day you're a different person.
Right, absolutely, man.
You know, you can't just be, you know, and I know they like to call it bipolar, but I think it's just a human emotion, you know.
Yeah.
That people go through. You know, so.
Absolutely, man, you know, and I don't think in some cases, you know, I don't think it's intentional, but I think sometimes we just we don't lose our way, but we certainly deviate from the plan.
Well, yeah. Well, and another thing is, we're disconnected.
Right.
We're so disconnected from, you know, what it was in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s is not like it, or even, hell, even in the early thousands, it's not like it is today. Technology is changing. There was no social media.
Yeah.
It was just different, you know. And everybody seems to be an expert on something nowadays. I swear to God, everybody's an expert on this, and everybody's an expert, you know.
Yep.
I made a comment on something here in a local paper in Newark, and someone was like, "Oh, where do you get your science degree?" I'm like, "Same place, Facebook."
Yeah.
Everybody else does.
Right.
You know, I take a look at this: Facebook, university, Twitter, you know, state, or whatever. I don't. The only thing I have is Facebook. I don't care about Instagram or Twitter or any of that crap.
Man,
I really don't.
Dude, I have all three. I'm guilty. I have Twitter. I have Instagram. I have Facebook. I have Snapchat.
Well, you're also a public figure too.
But
so.
yeah, but dude, let me be
you
real.
have to have those things.
No, you don't. You don't.
I know you don't, but
Oh,
I know you
them.
don't.
I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Like I wish I could just hire somebody. If I had the money, I would just hire somebody and let them run. Well, I don't know if I'd let them run my social media. I would let them. I would monitor them as they run my social media. You know, like just because it's ridiculous, man. Like, you know, when you talk about, you know, our accidents, your accident, you know, and recovering, like social media and shit, like I don't know if it helped me or if it brought me further down, because
it's further down the rabbit hole.
You know,
that's all you're doing.
You know, you see all these people doing shit like, oh, like we're gonna go to the park, or we're gonna go to the zoo, we're gonna go here, we're gonna do this, and like for me, the biggest thing was like, oh man, like, you know, and I'm not afraid to put this out there. I used to be a straight up asshole. Like before my accident, I was that dude who like would run by the handicapped person because they're walking to the door of Walmart too slow. So I walk faster to get around them to get in the door so I don't have to wait for them. And now I'm that handicapped person, and that person runs by me. And I, you know, dude, like it's a humbling fucking experience.
Oh yeah. You know, and now, but you get that certain level of cockiness back. You know.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, you know that. I think that.
Yeah, when you start getting better, and like I'm still doing physical therapy.
What's that like doing physical therapy now?
It's work. It's been work. Let me tell you what. This is my first time in physical therapy, and it's been work. Because when you don't have your big toe and half of your foot, because on my left foot I only have the two end toes. The smaller two end toes.
Yeah.
And then, you know, your great toe, which is your balance.
Right.
The big toe. And then the other two next to it. You, and like I did in that video Tuesday, like I said, you take things for granted, as you used to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I woke up and saw, like, after the amputation and stuff, I was like, okay, this happened, you know. It sucks, but what do you do?
Right. Yeah.
You know, at least you're alive.
Yeah, right.
So
there's that.
I know, man. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane what the mind does.
I think that's more important. Like, I think that's the key of it all. Like, you know, there's a point where your mind takes over and it's just you. You're no longer like what you.
Well, there's no more bright lights. There's, you know.
Right. You're no longer in the driver's seat. That's what I like to call
Exactly. You're not. You're in the passenger or the back seat.
Right.
And your mind is in the front seat. You know, and there's no more bright lights. You know, because everybody has a role to play in this world. Everybody is actors, and they must play their part.
Yeah, right. I'll give you that. So
you know.
when we come back from the break, man, we're gonna get into something right here from Chaplin the Kid. When we come back from the break, man, we're gonna do some horoscopes. We're gonna do Douche Bag Criminals here at the end of the show, and we're gonna talk more with Greg about what he's been going through, what he's got planned in the future, and what exactly it is that this music scene's freaking doing in 2019. So when we come back, we're gonna get right into it, man. Greg, hang tight, man. We'll be right back with you here.
All right, man. I'll be here.
Music Familia, thanks for coming and hanging out with me, man. I want to give a shout out to some of my sponsors right now. Knucklehead Productions, Undiscovered. I want to give a shout out to the Foxhole Internet Radio Network, PhotoNationAP, my man David Sheets. Shamrock Printing, check out Jonathan Boyer, shamrockprinting.com. Support local music. Check out Ohio Local Music for more. And Rock Outlaws as well. Check out Rockstars Glued 3.0. I am your host, Antman. We're going to get into this song from Chaplin the Kid. This song's for Greg. This is called Never Give Up. Let's go.
18 years
years in the making wasn't fair. Dim down lights all across the air. The doctors tell me that she's okay. They said just hold on tightly. Just spin the wheel, you ain't no for the best. Let it all go, I'll take it from here. I promise you now you won't suffer, my dear. Your husband feel like a good name should. Just promise me you said you would. Never give up, never give up, never give up. Chris calls my name, he knows everything that I do. Yeah, I'll hold on to sanity for you. The doctors tell me that she's okay. They said just hold on tightly. Just spin the wheel, you ain't no for the best. Let it all go, I'll take it from here. I promise you now you won't suffer, my dear. Your husband feel like a good man should. Just promise me you said you would. Never give up, never give up, never give Let it all go, I'll take it from here. I promise you now you won't suffer, my dear. Your husband feel like a good man should. Just promise me you said you would. Never give up, never give up, never give up.
We're back. What's going on, Greg? Thanks for hanging out with us, man, while we get through that song there. Yeah, man, that's Chaplin the Kid with Never Give Up. That I kind of felt like that song was kind of fitting. The story behind that particular song, my man Patrick, that song is actually about his mom being in the hospital. And, you know, I kind of thought that it was a fitting type of song for what we were discussing and what was going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. Awesome. Chaplin the Kid is awesome.
Yeah, man. Like, I've noticed that you've been picking up a lot of music, you know, from the show. I see you in a lot of the same groups I'm in. I see you in a lot of the same pages that I promote and the bands that I promote, man. And that's really awesome that you follow so closely like
I'm a
that.
music geek, so. Dude, I'm a music geek, so, and music nerd, period.
That's
like,
really awesome.
Honestly, I got vinyl records, still cassettes, CDs, so much cool, so much cool stuff.
Yeah, man. Like, you know,
it's insane.
So fast forwarding, man, you're in therapy right now. You're in physical therapy, and you know, you're getting back to normal, as they say, or back to as normal as you were anyway. I mean, we all know we're all a little fucked up in the head sometimes, but
right, exactly.
But you know, that particular situation, man, with physical therapy, dude, like it's strenuous, man, and not a lot of people realize, you know, exactly what it takes to get up every day and go to physical therapy.
Oh yeah, it becomes a job. Oh yeah, it becomes a job when you don't have a job. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta stick with it. It's a mental thing because if you do this, you'll get better eventually. It's not gonna, if anybody has been through physical therapy, or if you've never been, 2 or 3 weeks ain't gonna help. You have to go month after month after month and keep going.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, a lot of people, and it's funny. It's kind of like, so I was, addicted to medications and stuff like that. And while I was getting clean, man, it was rough, dude. Like I was driving from here to Cleveland to the Mayo Pain Clinic 3 days a week for treatment, and the biggest thing for me was how, the biggest thing for me was like how everybody like made it look like, oh, it's no problem. Oh, you're fine. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna go to therapy. You're gonna go to pain management. You're gonna go to addiction therapy, and you're gonna walk out. You'll be fine. Like, motherfucker, like for real? No, that's not what happens. Like it's every minute, every day, every second. It's a battle, bro.
Oh yeah. When I was in the hospital, they gave me Dilaudid and OxyContin.
Oh,
Combination.
Screw that.
Combination. So when I got out, I thought the demons that I had was gone, but sometimes demons stick a little bit too close than others, if you know what I mean.
Oh man, like the biggest thing, the biggest thing that we have to remember when we go through stuff like that, man, is that there regardless if we want to admit it or not, there is somebody there. It's just whether or not we want them there in that time.
Exactly, and here's the thing about medication, and drugs period. And drugs period. The first hit is the best. And then after that, it starts not becoming fun.
Yeah, dude.
The first high you get off of a pill or whatever is the best time you'll ever have. And then after a second time, it becomes okay. It's all right, but not as fun as the first. And then that's when you start down at 3 or 4. Even not feel anything, become a zombie. Flipping through the television channels.
Right, yeah, and then before you know it, man, days, like, it starts with minutes, and then hours go by, and then, you start realizing, like, time, like, regardless of what you think is happening, time isn't moving or anything, it's just you're totally not there.
No, you blank out. You blank out. I mean, at least for me, I did. In November.
Yeah.
In November, because I got released October 6th.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and let's be real. Let's be honest here. Like, you getting released, with the accident happening October, November. You're still looking at dealing with. All right, I have to reinvent myself. Plus, you have Thanksgiving around the corner. You have Christmas around the corner.
Here's something, Anthony. I didn't know Thanksgiving was Thanksgiving until that day.
Right, exactly. That's my point.
And then I didn't know it was Christmas until it's Christmas Eve.
Yep.
So because I was so numb, but I had to take the pain medication.
Right. I mean, you get caught in a trap. Sword. Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, before I got on here, I was just watching a documentary called "Seattle is Dying."
Oh my God, that's awesome! I love that documentary. I mean, I'm not a huge like person of like, oh, I love to watch people die. I love to watch, but it fascinates me about how cities, especially Seattle, opened up clinics for these people to go get high. Like, like...
It's sad. Even in Newark down here. In Newark, Ohio.
Yeah.
In Newark, Ohio, it is so bad. Like, you can't even explain it.
Yeah,
Licking County is,
yeah.
and for people that don't know where Licking County is, who's listening, and over the world and stuff like that, Licking County's a small county, not small, but medium-sized to Columbus.
I mean, if you blink, you'll miss it. Like, I mean, just
exactly.
there's a lot of those
small
down there.
but big, if that makes sense.
It's a little bit bigger than Newark, right? If I'm not mistaken, not by much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So Licking County, it's so bad down here, and we all know what it's from. It's when you get hooked. When you get hooked. And when I mean you get hooked, you got these doctors and everything writing prescriptions out like candy.
Well, let's be real. It's not just that.
Well, no.
It's
no.
Oh well, I'm gonna write you this prescription. I'm gonna write you this prescription. I'm gonna write you this prescription, and then I'm gonna cut you off.
That's what happened to me. Exactly, that's what happened to me. And then by the time you're already hooked, and you're like, okay, then what's stronger? Then people get hooked on heroin.
So funny. Well, not funny. Not funny. Ha ha. More like funny. Hee hee. I 4th of July weekend, 2011, a year after my accident, I decided I was gonna dump all my medications down the toilet because I realized I had lost about 45 pounds. And you've met me, bro. I'm not a big guy, So for me to lose 45 pounds, like, I might as well just hang my toe tag on myself, And I flushed all my medications down the toilet, and I went into serious withdrawal on 4th of July weekend, 2011. I spent from, I think, Thursday, I don't even remember. Like, I remember getting to the hospital, but it was Doctors West Hospital on the west side of Columbus. And I didn't know at the time, but probably one of the worst hospitals in Columbus. Like, I know there's a few, but definitely one of the worst.
It's shut down now, isn't
it?
It's shut down now, isn't it?
No, I'm not sure. I haven't been on the west side.
Where was that Doctors North? Because I was born at Doctors North.
I might have been Doctors North that got shut down, but
okay.
I was over there, and the doctor told me flat out, was like, so I'm gonna be real with you. He's like, that's probably one of the smartest yet dumbest decisions I've ever seen a patient make. And he said, I advise you strongly not to ever do that again. Come off of them, taper down if you can. Don't just up and quit. And I didn't know. I had no idea, man. I was on the train. I had no idea. And
it's like when you get something amputated, and I should know this firsthand.
Yeah, right.
It changes you mental, your biological.
Yeah.
And it changes you mentally.
You're right.
Like something just, I don't know. I think that was one of the. I think that was one of the toughest things to adjust to. Honestly.
That's what I was just getting ready to ask you. What was one of the hardest things to adjust to for you?
No, definitely. Things that I had on my body that's not there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I'm gonna ask you a stupid question. I'm not a fan of stupid questions, especially when it comes to disabilities or anything like that. But do you, because I didn't have anything amputated. I actually, the doctors say that my situation is worse because I have no feeling I have no circulation in my foot, so my toes are essentially dying.
Right.
And so I'm eventually going to end up, I'm working. Every year I physically feel like I'm working towards that every year.
Right.
It's to the point now where, when I'm in the shower, if I scrub my skin falls off, and I bleed in the shower real bad. It looks like a murder scene.
Jesus.
It looks like...
No, Jesus.
It's brutal, bro. And my toenails in the wintertime, because it gets so cold and it gets dry and your skin gets chappy, my toenails fall out. And I have to be careful because they said I can die if I lose enough blood out of it, and I don't know it. Last summer, as a matter of fact, I was at the Alrosa Villa. I was outside. I stepped on a rusty nail, and I didn't feel it because it's my bad foot and it's all numb and I can't feel any. It's basically like it's numb and asleep all the time. I just, you know. And I got home and I realized I had the nail all the way through my shoe, bro. I was bleeding out in my shoe, and I think the only thing that saved me was that the thick sole of my shoe. But what is it? You know, one of the fans in the chat room, John, he's asking, and this is obviously with no disrespect, of course, but does an amputee still feel the part removed? I always wondered that. He says, no disrespect, of course.
No, it's cool, yes. Oh, no, it's cool, yes. 110% yes.
Like the phantom pain, and the
phantom pain is real.
Yeah,
it's one of the realest things you'll ever experience if you get something amputated. Because even right now I can still feel it. Talking to you. So.
So when you
it's
talk
an
about
everyday
feeling
thing, and
it,
you just get used to it, I guess. Like I don't have phantom pains like normal amputees would. For some reason, like it's not always there. I guess it kind of fades in and out. But when I got home, the first week or two, yeah, I had them bad. But I guess you get used to it after a while. Your body does. So
right,
the body is an amazing.
What's,
the body is an amazing vehicle.
So when you're talking about, you know, going to, I know one thing we do have in common. We both go to Hanger Prosthetics for our.
That's right. That's right.
For our prosthetics. So shameless plug for Hanger Prosthetics, man. Great people over there, dude. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't. I feel like I would have given up, man. You know, they really were like. No. Like if a vet, and the comparison was if a vet can go over and get an appendage blown off and come home and put on a prosthetic, then why the hell can't you get off your ass?
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know what? I know this is not. I respect veterans. I do. I love veterans. No matter what, I always pay my respects to them. You know, and I look at videos and pictures of them having their legs blown off. I'm thankful that I do have a foot. You know, so my case is not as bad as theirs.
Right. You know, you all of a sudden have
because
an
they served to protect.
Yeah. You instantly have it's not even. I can't even use the word respect. I feel like the word respect is too small to use.
Reverence.
Yeah, you know, and you know when you see them, you know, out and about, and I myself personally have run into a couple, and I have to. I know they don't like it, but I'll walk up and I'll thank them for their service, and you know, sometimes, you know, if I see them, I had an opportunity while I was recovering. I spent almost 40 days in Maryhaven recovering.
Oh man.
And,
Maryhaven is no joke.
And I
had a couple cousins that went there.
Yeah, I was strapped to a table for I wouldn't call they call it a bed, but it's more like a table. And you know, I had a strap across my forehead, a strap across my shoulders, one across my stomach, across my thighs, and across my legs, my feet. And you know, they basically made me go through withdrawal there. And one of the people that I met when I got done getting clean, you know, or whatever, the first day after everything went to hell, I got to shower. I got to, you know, meet a vet who, you know, unfortunately, he relapsed and he's no longer with us. But, you know, getting the opportunity to really firsthand be around that and see that.
Here's the thing I have about rehab, like drug rehab. Has a failure rate of a very high failure rate.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't do anybody no good.
Well, they say
it's a money maker.
They say 7 out of 10 people that go to rehab will relapse.
Yeah, exactly. So what are we helping? You know,
right?
here in America, I've always said, and I know some people will disagree what I'm about to say, but whatever. Here in America, we are hypocritical about everything.
Yeah.
We say, we pick and choose what charities we want to donate.
Yeah. Yeah.
My research with amputees. Check this out. Only 40 to 46% make a full recovery of amputee victims, and maybe even less. There's no real study about it. Because I've gotten mixed numbers. I've gotten either like 35% or 40%, and then 40 to 45%. But there is no real study about how it affects your life.
Yeah. All right.
But there's a whole bunch of research on cancer.
Well, what I think is,
not saying nothing bad about cancer or anything, but
but there are definitely things I feel like they pick and choose. Like they feel like, oh well, this is important today. Let's do this.
Right.
You know, and I don't know, man. I do agree with you. To a certain point, I feel like there is some shit that gets pushed to the wayside. I don't think necessarily maybe on purpose, but I will say that I definitely think that, like you said, it's a money game.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Whatever makes them the most money, they'll do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And people that have cancer, God bless them, because keep kicking ass. If someone you do know has cancer, tell them to keep up the fight. Because that's a hideous disease. I've even had family members die from it. So, fuck cancer.
Yeah, right.
But,
hashtag fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer. When I got home, really, also I started reading a lot more, just delving into, I don't know, the bottomless pit of things, especially amputee. Because if I'm going to go through something new that I've never experienced, I want to learn about it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You don't want. You've had enough surprises. You don't need any more. You know what I mean?
Exactly. The best teaching tool is life experience.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do.
Not 8 years of college and a degree that you hope to God you get a job. That's what.
Well, I've never.
That's what I think because everything I've known is on life experience.
Right. My thing was like I went and I got my college degree, and then I went back for my bachelor's. And now, not to be a smart ass, but now I'm like, well, God, fuck, if I would have known what was going to happen, I would have never went to college. I would have never wasted that $40,000.
Exactly, and it's sad because, colleges is teaching nothing. Nothing.
Right. Well,
what are they teaching?
I think what the thing is, like, honestly, man, it's kind of like this, dude. They should, when you're born, you should already know what shit's going to happen to you, so you can formulate a plan to not have that shit happen to you. You shouldn't be going through life unknown and, like, stepping on proverbial landmines,
Well, that's what makes life fun.
I guess.
If I've always took it like this: if you knew everything exactly, and this is to everybody. If everybody knew exactly what was going to happen to them at an exact time and date, it wouldn't make who they was. We're all made of scars. One way or the other.
Right.
Mental, physical. We're all made of scars.
Well, one thing I've always said is that we all walk the same road. It's just the shoes that we wear to walk the road.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so fast forwarding, man, getting through all the addiction and stuff like that, and getting ready to start facing life again as we know it. What are your expectations? What are you setting out to do in 2019 that you haven't done, you know, in the past?
Get 100% first off.
Yeah.
That's my main goal. Get to walking normal again. Finishing physical therapy out. I'm actually going to step away a little bit from music,
yeah,
just a tad bit, and do some film. Start messing around with documentary style film.
I gotcha.
So I've always been interested in film.
Is that kind of what we were talking about the other day?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
not to bring our personal
exactly.
conversation into the interview, but
cool, man. Oh no, it's cool, man. I don't care.
Well, because I've had a lot of ideas about what we were talking about the other day, and I'm definitely I'm gonna hook you up with a camera so that you can document your journey, and whenever you feel like you don't have somebody, you do, because you can go to that camera, you can you can make that something that you don't what some people don't realize, I think, honestly, is that you don't have to broadcast your feelings. You don't have to broadcast your emotions to feel better.
No, you don't.
No,
you don't.
You can
go ahead.
And
that's the thing too in a society. Everybody has to broadcast their emotions. Sometimes your emotions should be kept at home.
Right.
We all want privacy. But for some reason we take 10 selfies a day. We post everything about our lives. What we were doing, what we were eating, what.
Yeah.
There is no more privacy. The people who want privacy do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I get a lot of people that like ask me, because as long as me and you've been on Facebook, friends, like like I don't really. I mean, if I post something personal, like it's pretty direct, but for the most part, like I every day, like when it comes to depression, anxiety, and suicide and all those things, like I suffer from anxiety and depression pretty bad. And to the point now where like every morning, like I said earlier, we grab our prosthetics and we strap on our prosthetics every morning before we get up and go pee, kind of thing, and I think just in a small degree, people take just the easiest thing, getting up, picking up our kid, like going to the bathroom, standing up and peeing, like how fortunate you are to be able to do that. Like, how fortunate you are to be able to go run and play with your kids in the front yard.
And that's what I said in that video Tuesday.
Right? Absolutely.
Never take anything for granted. If people don't know what I'm talking about, I made a video Tuesday because now I'm allowed to talk about this. But I don't know if you can share it if I shared it to you or whatever. Anthony,
you can post that shit on my. I watch the shit live, but you can go back and share that shit on my fucking. You can share that wherever the hell you want. I'll put the link on my goddamn website. I don't give a shit. Whatever.
Okay, then I'll do that tonight.
Yeah.
I'll, so people can see it. Share that so people can see it on your website.
Yeah.
It's basically me saying, thank you to the people. Thank you to the people that's helped me through it. And
yeah, man.
And my story and stuff. So
like it cracks me up, man. Like I go on social media and I don't I don't bag on anybody. I don't do anything, like I go on. I post a lot of funny shit. I post a lot of shit that sometimes I end up in Facebook jail, but it's funny nonetheless. And
there's a lot of sport.
I have,
that. So.
I have 3,330 friends on my Facebook page, man, and I see so much like, like I call it want, like the Charlie Brown stuff, like like you see it on Facebook, like want. I can't. And I just, for 1 second, man, like instantly, I just wish I could snap my fingers, man, put them in my shoes. I guarantee you they delete that freaking post, if not their entire account.
Right.
Like you have no idea.
it's incredible. It's incredible how. I'm so glad I grew up when I grew up, you know, in the 80s and 90s
Absolutely.
before cell phones.
Absolutely. Yep. Because you know what? That I feel like that allows us to be able to put it down, put it away. Even like, so they went ahead, and I say they as in like the people out there who think they're really smart, went out there and they created a day every year where you just put your phone down. I can't remember what it's like. It's like no national no media day or something like it, anyway. And what you're supposed to do is put your phone down and all that and look up. I'm like, dude, I do that every day. Like, what?
Right.
Why do we need to have a day every year for it?
Because people have short-term memory now.
Yeah, right. If it didn't happen on Facebook, if it's not on Facebook,
they can't even remember what they did last week.
Yeah, and if Facebook says if it's not on Facebook, then it didn't happen.
Exactly.
You know.
Or on social media.
Right. Yeah. Social media in general. Right. Yeah. You know. I mean. Ugh.
I don't know. I don't know, and nothing's going to change it or fix it. So.
Right. You know. Right.
Media,
and
because social media, there's going to be something better than Facebook. There's going to be something better than Twitter. There's going to be something better than Twitter.
Don't say that either.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's called the AntmanVs Show. Tune in every Thursday.
Exactly. That's right.
No, Thor Wonderland from Ohio Local Music, man. Him and Terry Stevens, bro. Those two dudes from Ohio Local Music are the coolest mofos I've ever met. And they said that if you're not already a member of the group, to join the Facebook group, and then you can feel free to post your stories and post your content, whatever it may be, in the group, and will be 100% supported. So, you know, there's an avenue right there of over 11, at least 1,100, if not 1,500 members, you know, and we're there to support each other. So. You know, I'm a member of that group as well. So
send me the link because I'm stupid when it comes to looking up things on that Facebook.
No, you're good, man. I'll take care of that, dude. But real quick, it is 11 minutes in front of 10 p.m. We got Douche Bag Criminals coming up here in a little bit. Some people say this is their favorite segment of the show. I want to give a shout out to a few of the sponsors for tonight's show. Shamrock Printing, my man Jonathan Boyer, also a member of the Suicide Toys. Much love to him and the guys.
I love that band.
Paul's Nightclub in Lancaster, Ohio. Janine and all the boys and girls in Lancaster, Ohio. Make sure you guys check them out. Great venue. Awesome drink specials and awesome live music every week. Check them out. Knucklehead Productions, my man Mike Corley. And you guys can get your tickets right now for the 4th annual Rock at the Villa. The World I Knew, Samara, Pray for Sleep, Key Enemy, Zero King, David Goliath, May 16th, the historic Alrosa Villa. 5055 Sinclair Road, Columbus, Ohio. Get your tickets, $15 in advance. And like I've said it before or something like that. And also check out Rockstar's Glue 3.0, man. And Greg, dude, I encourage you as well, anybody listening to the show, to check out Rockstar's Glue 3.0. You guys can go to the website, check them out on Facebook as well. Rockstars Glued 3 pointo.com. There we play Antman Versus every Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So this show will be replayed next Tuesday, live on their website. And shout out to Rock Outlaws as well, Stephanie Sutton Reed. Hope you guys are having a great night. Ohio Local Music, like I said, Thor and Terry, much love. My man David Sheets, PhotoNationAP. And the Foxhole Internet Radio Network, as well as the Foxhole Internet Radio Station Undiscovered. We're in 12 different countries. We're listening and hanging out to some great unsigned music from all over the world. My man Greg's hanging out on the phone. And we're going to get into some Douchebag Criminals here in a little bit, man. I'm going to hang on with you all the way to the end of the show, brother.
All right, sounds good.
And we're going to break out some Hoodbillies right here. This song is called The Reckoning, and we're going to follow it up. We're going to go right back to back. We're going to do the Hoodbillies, The Reckoning, and we're also going to do some Suicide Toys from my man Jonathan Boyer tonight and all the guys over there. I love those guys. And,
hell yeah.
This song is called, from Suicide Toys, is called Another Day, and we are going, I believe, to world premiere Another Day on Antman Versus tonight. So we're going to get into Hoodbillies right now. We'll be right back with my Greg and Douche Bag Criminals. Hang tight, Greg. We'll be right back, buddy.
Thanks. All right, thanks.
Familia Productions world premiere.
back. What's going on, Greg? You still with us?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Just jamming
Listening
out.
to Suicide Toys, man.
Hell yeah, brother. So we're going to get into right now. We're going to close the show with Douche Bag Criminals, man. I don't normally close the show with a guest with Douche Bag Criminals, but I couldn't resist because I know that you're a huge fan of this. So we're going to knock these out real quick before we close the show. So tonight's Douche Bag Criminals, man, you're going to love this. So a judge banishes an Ontario man from Prince Edward Island for 2 years. He's been banished from the island after committing a string of crimes on the island. Brian Mark Clark, 36, was recently sentenced to Charlottetown on charges including theft, operating a motor vehicle while prohibited, flight from police, and possession of stolen property. Provincial Court Judge John Douglas sentenced Clark to time served of 90 days and a 2-year probation order, including the provision that he is not to be on Prince Edward Island during the term of probation.
Wow. Wow.
Like getting fucking banished from an entire island for 2 years because you're a douche. That's great.
Normally, back in the old days, they would just kill them.
Right. Right. Oh, that's funny.
Off with your head.
Oh, that's funny, man. So tonight's second douchebag criminal is a father that admits to staging home invasion to cover up his theft of his daughter's Girl Scout cookie sales. So a man in Oregon is accused of staging an elaborate home invasion in an effort to cover up his theft of more than $700 from his daughter's Girl Scout cookie sales. According to Forest Grove Police, officers responded to a 911 call on March 6th for a possible break-in and enter and assault. Police said Brian Kuchar, 40, placed the emergency call just before 10 a.m. and reported an unknown individual had entered his home through a sliding glass door. Kuchar then said that he engaged in a struggle with the alleged suspect before the apparent intruder fled from the home and officers arrived. Police said a police canine unit was dispatched to search for the suspect, causing panic for some of the area residents as the neighborhood was put on lockdown. There were cops from all over. Dogs, the forensic team, they had crime scene tape up everywhere. Brooke Gwynn told KGW8 News, "We put sticks in all of our doors, and I started setting the alarm during the day because I was afraid to be home by myself during the day." Officers said when they arrived to the home, they found Kuchar unresponsive. There's a distinct difference between being unconscious and being unresponsive, Forest Grove Police Captain Michael Hall told the news station without disclosing what injuries the man may have suffered. Turns out there was no home invasion, according to police. They claim Kuchar staged the entire situation. Kuchar then admitted to Forest Grove police investigators that the alleged incident was staged. The police department said in a statement the investigators believe that Kuchar staged the incident in order to conceal the theft of money belonging to a nonprofit organization, namely the Girl Scouts, and that was spent inappropriately. The organization was the Girl Scouts of America. A spokesperson confirmed by KPTV News that Kuchar is the father of a Girl Scout, and approximately $740 of cookie sales were unaccounted for.
Man,
yeah.
That dude either had the bad munchies.
Like,
or something. Holy crap.
I can't imagine stealing, let alone, like, I mean, I might, if my daughter, we both have daughters, but I mean, if they ever get into the Girl Scouts, bro, like, sure, I might cop a box of cookies, but I'm gonna pay for it. Like, I'm not gonna just be like, I want you to order $700 worth of cookies so I can sell them on the black market for double.
That night at the strip club, it seems like for that dude was a fun night.
Dude, you know what, man?
$700.
Yeah, so our last douchebag criminal of the night tonight is this gentleman. Marietta police respond to a viral video showing officers punch man in the face at IHOP. The incident allegedly began over bacon. In Marietta, Georgia, police say a video spreading on social media showing an officer punch a man at an IHOP doesn't tell the whole story of what happened. According to Marietta Police Department, officers were called to the IHOP and 1 a.m. on a Sunday, obviously, it was after the bar, and responding to the 911 call, they said a man had made threats, including gesturing like he had a gun. The man's wife reportedly told responding officers that the issue wasn't about threats, but explained they needed the restaurant employee names and their phone numbers because she was upset they were out of bacon. You heard it right, folks. They were out of bacon, and they were upset. So, the family has responded to the allegations, calling them unfounded. Police said that the suspect, identified as 39-year-old Renato Lewis, and his wife grew more agitated as officers got statements from witnesses in the IHOP. More officers arrived at the scene and eventually made the decision to handcuff Lewis. In the video that's being circulated on social media, a woman is heard yelling, "Why? Why? Why?" several times as the officer detained Lewis. A struggle between Lewis and several officers ensues. And as we know, I am not going to show this video because I do not want to get my ass in trouble. The moment what I will do, however, I will drop a link in here, and you guys can go check out the video for yourselves. We'll do that.
Fight over bacon. Unbelievable.
I thought I had seen it all. I really did. Like I thought I had seen it all. I guess I was.
Man, every day there's something new to discover and learn. So.
Well, you know, this time I guess they're keeping it in the family, and so. But, well, that's your Douche Bag Criminals for the week. That was powered by PhotoNationAP. My man David Sheets does all my graphic design work, man. You guys can contact him at 614-732-9525. Call or text or write an email, photonationap@outlook.com. Shout out to you, Mr. Greg Chaffin. Thank you for coming and hanging out tonight on the show. I surely appreciate you.
Hey, man, thanks for having me on. Hopefully we can do this again in the future. Hopefully we can talk about my project.
Absolutely, man. Yes.
Next time.
Yes, absolutely, man. And so is there anything you want to leave with the people before we jump off here for the evening?
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it to be successful. No matter what your goal is, reach it. And also, if anybody wants to friend me, it's Greg Chaffin at Facebook. I'm easy to find and talk to. So, and I got some music on my page. Older music and cool stuff that I've done. So, but that's about it, man.
All right, sir. Well, thank you, man, for calling in. I appreciate you, and you have a wonderful night. Tell the girl I said hi, and thank you for allowing us to use her phone.
No problem. no problem. I'm about to pick her up from work, so.
Right on, man. All right, sir. Have a good night, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother.
All right, later, buddy.
Later.
Music Familia, this has been another Antman Versus. I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight, man, as well. I want to give a shout-out to my sponsors. I love you guys. Thank you for doing what you do. Shamrock Printing, my man Jonathan Boyer. You guys can give him a call, 740-349-2244. I want to give a shout-out to Paul's Nightclub, Janine, and all the boys and girls. I love you guys. They're down there in Lancaster, Ohio. My man Mike Corley, Knucklehead Productions. Make sure you guys get your tickets for the 4th Annual Rock at the Villa coming up May 16th. Rockstars Glued 3.0. You guys can check them out. Rockstars Glued 3, POINTO.com. Every Tuesday, replay for Antman Versus, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Check out Rock Outlaw, Stephanie Sutton Reed. Ohio local music, Terry and Thor holding it down. My man David Sheets, PhotoNationAP, the Foxhole Internet Radio Network, the Foxhole Internet Radio Station Undiscovered, and viewers like you. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out, man. Also, just a reminder, all the music and music videos aired are not ours, and we give all the rights to the artists and musicians who created these works. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Music Familia Productions, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Music Familia Productions. Have a great night, Music Familia. I love you guys. And be watching in the coming weeks, man. We got some awesome interviews. On the 11th, we're hanging out with Sweethearts the Clown. I'm going to be interviewing her, talking about haunts and all kinds of fun stuff. And on the 18th, we got Alexandria Rose when we hang out with her as well. Have a great week, guys. Talk to you later. See you.